Present. However, I plan on doing this. I plan on doing this on Twitch and then uploading it to YouTube. So here we kind of go. I did. Who do you got a ping? Well, Kurogane said he won't be on for like another hour. Ike is out with his boyfriend, and Nigmas is in D&D. So none of the people who are involved are going to be present, but it's okay though. So this is going to be let me stop the music because I'm pretty sure YouTube would still strike this. So this is going to be a roleplay review for really preparations part 2. Preparations part 1 I already did the review for, although it's not in 2 parts on the log. Or on the forums, it should have been 2 parts. And it's this big, massive honkin' sumbitch right here that kind of starts off with Koshoro is, practicing his new technique to use against the wolf. And he kind of writes his letters to his friends, yada, yada, yada. I already talked about that. And then right here, he's kind of just relaxing and preparing his mind. And Styx shows up. Not it. And so Styx, shows up. And I actually don't need that. And this is where the log instantly changes. This is where the roleplay goes from preparing for a fight to just a normal roleplay log. And so when Styx shows up, they're kind of like shambling through the woods and just stumbles upon Koshoro. And then they have a conversation. Kurogane, I want you to know that what I'm about to say is not a personal attack on you. Anybody reading these, they never are. We are never personally attacking people. But Styx, the character Styx, this is a personal attack against the character Styx. Read the room is what I'm going to say to that. Because while Koshoro is like preparing his mind for this epic final battle, Styx just kind of like shambles in and is like, nothing's going to last forever, right? Like, the universe is going to get what it's want. We're all predestined and preordained. Even this conversation was, this conversation itself that we are having right now was predetermined by destiny, and we are all just acting it all out. And in the end, death wins. The universe is going to die in a heat death when the last particles stop moving. Nothing's worth it. And it's just like, what? And you can feel the tension. They are only by themselves for a couple of posts, and by the time Genesis shows up, like, Koshoro is almost to the point. So I'm gonna write some of my thoughts later. Well, Nigmas, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube later, so you're fine. But yeah, when Genesis shows up, Ko is like to the point of like, I can just tell he's like, I'm done with you. Like, I just need to be away from you. And Genesis really comes in and saves the day. He really does, because it's like, I was trying to find the best analogy for this, but imagine we have Goku and he's in Bulma's spaceship. He's flying through space, and he just finished training for like 6 days at 100 times gravity. And on the 7th day, he's just sitting there meditating. And while he's meditating, like, Yajirobe just happens to show up or is talking to him in his mind. Like, yeah, Goku, none of this matters, right? Like, you're all gonna die. Krillin's gonna die. Your son's gonna die. Chi-Chi's gonna die. And we're all gonna die at some point. So there's really no point of you going to Namek. to save all of your friends because they're all gonna die anyway. And it's just how the universe wants it to be. So if you could just come back and buy some senzu beans from me. And it's like, dude, what? This is the hero preparing for the final battle. What are you doing? Read the room. Read the room. Even if that is the case. Hey. No. And again, this is not against Kurogane. This is just against the character sticks, which I'm sure Kuro was kind of like trying to find this character again, because this character is one that was part of the sanctum fight, but is like this character is Genesis. Genesis and Styx are the same. They are the sons and daughters of people who died at the Sanctum fight, which is the last fight of the Last Age. Only Styx kind of like has this weird connection where they kind of know what's going on and they kind of don't. So they're kind of like trying to give sagely wisdom, but it's just depressing and brooding is what it really comes down to. So Genesis kind of like slides in and then is like, hey, so, I'm kind of with him. Fuck the universe. Like, it can try to take what it wants, but that's why we exist. That's what life is. It's fighting against destiny. Very Genesis, very Doomiston. And he really does just like, he just saves the day. Like Genesis just comes in and saves the day. He saves this log. And then the rest of it, after we kind of get out of that weird back and forth, the rest of this log is great, and it really is. It really makes me hate that we even do reviews. I know that's gonna sound weird, but follow me with this. The rest of this log is then Koshoro being like, "Hey, Genesis, you have this really cool attack. This attack is amazing. Can you teach it to me?" And Gen's like, I mean, I'm kind of wore out from the Nova fight, but I'm always ready. I'm always hands are ready 24/7. Let's go. They won't be as dynamite in them, but let's go. And they kind of go over this sky, like Koshoro calls it sky dancing. For Genesis, it's the I'm gonna RP finger. It is the Raging Sky Tempest kick, and the foot that rules the sky. That is what he literally calls it, and he teaches it to Koshoro, and they go off and they do it against one another, and they blow up Soon Lake. It was a lake that Nova used, that she named after her master, but go ahead, blow it up. Blow it the fuck up. And they do. And it's got all this lightning and energy is exploding, and Koshoro goes into a really great explanation of how he also doesn't have control over his power, and Genesis is like, you don't need control. Let it go. Just let it be, and then that's your version of it. You don't have to do what I do. Do what you do. Do what feels natural to you. And if your power just explodes out, then it explodes out. And it's just a great training log. Like, I gave this log the maximum amount of points that it could because they just go to town, and it was a fantastic training log. And to go back to what I said before, the reason that I hate we have to do these reviews because sometimes you just want to have this. Sometimes you don't need to have a story that makes sense and is logical and pushes a narrative and all this other, like, we're not writing novels, like, we're just playing Dragon Ball Pretend in word form, and this is what it looks like, and it's amazing. But as a story, it makes no fucking sense. And the only reason I say that it makes no sense is because Koshoro had finished his preparations and was like, I got my attack. It's the shotgun, scatter shot, instant, bam, hit. And it's perfected. And now I'm just going to get my mind together. My body, my soul, my spirit all need to be one. I'll take one more training session, please. Right? So, like, logistically and how it plays out, it doesn't make any sense as to why he would say, I'm done training, and then I actually want to start training a whole new technique. Like, right now, 5 hours away from fighting. So, but again, it's like, Riz, who the fuck cares? Like, it was fun. We wanted to roleplay, and we wanted to have a fun RP, and we did. So we did. So, that's all I really wanted to say. I mean, the Genesis showing up, again, changed the dynamic of the roleplay. And hopefully Styx was able to, or Kurogane was able to roleplay Styx some more, kind of feel out where they want to land with this character. Because it just feels to me that they're still trying to figure it out. They're still trying to, like, work their way in, but they were just, like, antagonizing more than I felt like. I told Ike this. I felt like Styx was role-playing next to you guys rather than with you guys. And rather than trying to ingrain themselves in the story that was already happening, they were just, like, hyper-focused on, I need to do this. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to like, just spend time with the character in their mind and feel out where they're going. So that was it. So that was the roleplay review. As always, thank you for your time, and see you next time. Okay. And then when is that timestamp gonna have to be?